everybody, welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing a freezer, pantry, and refrigerator clean out. Towards the end of the month, our budget gets a little slim and we can't do any extra runs to the grocery store. So we have to make do with what we had. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you our freezer, pantry, refrigerator clean out. We're going to look at those, see what we have, and see the meals that I can come up with. I need to come up with 4 dinners. We're out of bread and we're out of cereal. So I need to come up with 2 breakfast type items. And I think what we're going to do is rolls and a pancake mix. So keep watching and you'll see what we're able to come up with. If you're new here, welcome to our house. And if you are returning, we are so glad you are here. My name is Wendy and I am one half of the House of Five podcast. If you haven't already subscribed, would you please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get notifications of videos that we have coming out as they come out. We do have new videos coming out every single week. Let's get to it. Hi, Loki. All right. So we have gone through our freezer and pantry. Our first meal is going to be a stir fry. So I've got some leftover stir fry, but I'm also going to throw some fresh veggies that I need to eat. And then instead of a fried rice, I think I'm going to do a fried cauliflower rice. And then I had a half a package of pot stickers that I'll add to even that meal out. The next meal we're going to do is, we don't really eat beef in our family. It doesn't agree with my husband's stomach. So we're going to do ground turkey. I will use all 3 pounds of this turkey. Like I've talked about previously, we've got a lot of Y chromosomes in our house. And so they eat a lot. I'll use the little bit of sour cream I have left. I usually would use more than that. And then I had the cream of mushroom, and I didn't have any fresh mushrooms, but I'll use these. And then I also didn't have the egg noodles, so I'm going to do it with a shell. That'll work just fine. And then the next meal we're going to do is a shredded chicken. And then I had these packages of these refried beans. I haven't tried these yet, but I tried a similar at my daughter's and I really liked it. So I'm hoping that these are just as good. And I'm going to make some Mexican rice with rice, the Knorr tomato, and a can of tomato sauce, and the mixed vegetables. I have some tostada shells in there that I might use, or corn tortillas. I haven't decided that. We'll decide that when we actually make it. And then for today, since it's an overcast day, I'm going to use this leftover rotisserie chicken that I threw in the freezer. And we're going to make some chicken noodle soup. I've got some spaghetti noodles, and I found another bag of carrots in there and a little bit of onion. I'll throw that in there. And then these dinner rolls. I don't know how many I have in here. Usually my kids eat up a whole bunch of these, but we'll use whatever's in this bag to round out that meal. If I feel like it's not enough, I do have some cornmeal in the pantry, and I might make some cornbread to go along with it as well. All right, and over here we have our chicken cooking in the hot water. I'll be using this water in the chicken noodle soup along with some bouillon, but right now I just wanted to get it heated up, and then I'll let it cool a little bit to help the meat get off of the bone, and I'll take every itty bitty piece of meat I can get off of there for the soup. Since I'm not putting these in until later in the day, normally I would have set these out, sprayed saran wrap, and then put a towel on it and put it in a warm spot. But I'm starting much later in the day today, so I'm going to do a quick thaw of these. I heated the oven to 200, and then I'm going to turn it off. If you're in a dry climate, you could put a bowl of water in the oven to help with the moisture. It's super humid right now here in San Diego, so I'm not going to do that, and these will be just fine. So I'm going to go put these in the oven. Once it's up to 200, you then just turn it off. And I don't have a food processor anymore. Mine got broken, but I do have this Ninja blender, which is super, super awesome. And I hate big chunks of carrots. So I'm going to pulverize these carrots for the chicken noodle soup and do it that way. And that doesn't need to be really, really fine, just enough to make itty bitty chunks. And then finally, I had this itty bitty piece of onion left in the refrigerator. It's purple onion, but I don't care. It'll work. I don't have any yellow onions right now. I'll be adding to it with my dried minced onions, since that's all that I have right now. So I'll chop these up and we'll add it to the water once we get the chicken out. Chicken noodle soup is one of the easiest things to make, and it's so satisfying, especially on a day like today where it's just very overcast. It's not that it's super cold outside. It's San Diego, so it's cool for us. It's like high 60s, low 70s. So we still have all the windows open, but I'm able to wear a hoodie and not get super hot. All right, the rest of what is going to be going in the soup is this better than bouillon. It is the best. It is so good. Again, the dried onions, some salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of oregano, and maybe a little bit of garlic and onion powder. We'll just do all of that to taste. I'm not really great about measurements. If you watch, you'll see that. So I just think it's a good idea to start with a little bit, start adding a little bit more. Taste, keep tasting until it's right, and you'll get there. But it's really hard to mess up chicken noodle soup unless you're dumping like a whole bunch of salt in it. But we'll have enough salt in with this, as well as we'll grind a little bit of salt into it to get it right. All right, so we've got our chicken off the bone. There's the good meat. Here is all the skin and stuff, which the Bowsers have been waiting very, very patiently for. It's like they know when we have yummy goodness for them. They just sit and they wait. And now they're very happy. All right, and then here goes the rest of the meat from the bone in. And we're just going to let this sit on low for a while. It's not anywhere close to being dinner time, so we're just going to put this on super, super low, cover it up, and then while our dough is in there thawing, we'll just let that sit. My rolls have risen, so I took them out of the oven. I'm just preheating it to 350, and then those will cook for about 15 minutes. Over here, my chicken and carrots and onion have been simmering on low. I'm going to be adding the bouillon and all the spices now. All right, so that's about a fistful of the spaghetti, and then I broke it in half. We're going to let this simmer until the noodles are finished. We'll taste it one more time, then it should be ready. All right, so now we're going to finish up the stroganoff. This was in the crock all day, and it's now ground up. I drained out the excess fluid. I'm going to be using a recipe I've used for years out of my Betty Crocker cookbook. I think I've had this since we were married. So over 25 years. There's this beef stroganoff recipe in here, but as you can see, I kind of made my own recipe up there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to improvise with what we have. I don't quite have a whole cup of sour cream, so we're going to make that work. It calls for 1 can of cream of mushroom. I think I'm going to do 2 just because we're using 3 pounds of meat. I didn't have any fresh mushrooms, but I have this can of stems and pieces. I'm going to put in some minced garlic, some diced onion. We'll put in about 2 to 4 tablespoons of ketchup. It says 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. I like to be very generous with that, so we'll put that into taste. And then I really like quite a bit of pepper in there as well. We're going to put all of that in there on low for just a little bit. It doesn't really need to cook anymore. It just needs to warm up all together. In the meantime, I'm going to boil the noodles. All right, that is looking great. It tastes great. It tastes exactly how I like it. I ended up adding just a little bit more pepper, a little bit more Worcestershire, a tiny bit more ketchup, and some salt to taste. And I also ended up only using 1 can, and then this is perfect. It's the right consistency. I'm just going to keep this on low until the noodles are ready, and then this will be done. All right. Hi, Loki. You just always want to be in the picture. You just know when there's food, huh? All right, so we cooked our noodles. I did not have the wide egg noodles, which is what I usually use for stroganoff, but I love shells, and I had a big 1 pound box of shells. I probably normally would have used 2 and tried to make it just a little bit more saucy, but all I had was the 1, so we're just going to make this work for our dinner tonight.
Let's go.
All right, 3 of the boys are home. Everyone else is at practice. What do you think of the stroganoff, guys?
Good.
Is it one of your favorites?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Do you like barbecue chicken?
Yes.
You guys gonna get enough to eat with that?
I want to have more.
Well, we'll see after Daddy and Bubby and eat and get home, okay? All right. All right. So part of our pantry and freezer clean out, we are all out of bread and breakfast stuff. So we're going to make some pancake mix. So tomorrow and the next day, the boys can have some pancakes. And I have my little helper Isaiah here with me today, who's going to do all of my measuring. Do you remember how we do it? You put it in, and you swipe the back of your knife off of it and make it level. And then you put it in the bag, okay? We're going to do that 4 times. Okay, so that's 1. Just put it in. There you go. So keep it over. Okay. Here, you want Mommy to do it, or are you going to do it?
I can do it.
Okay, scrape it off and back into there. Careful. All right, that's good. That's 2. The inside the bag and turn it. Okay. Do that 2 more times. Okay, 1 of those.
What do I use this for? What do I use this for?
We need one of that size because it's 4.5. That's a half a cup.
1 more?
Nope, that's it of that one. Close it up. So far we have 4.5 cups of flour. We have 2 tablespoons of baking powder. We need 1 tablespoon of baking soda.
Is it this one?
They're both a tablespoon, honey. Okay, so in here so far we've got 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 3.5 or 3/4 cups of dry powdered milk. I had buttermilk, so I'm using that instead. And then now we're going to do
sugar.
1/3 of a cup of sugar. Okay. Do that. Put that in there. Level it off. Nope, you need more than that.
Silicone cover.
Okay, put it in there. Gonna mix all that up. Now we got our pancake mix. We've got it dated. We've got directions on it. Go ahead and go put that in our pantry. Shut the door. All right, so far what we've done in the mixing bowl, we have put in 1.5 cups of hot water, a tablespoon of active dry yeast, as well as 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we've let that sit for over 5 minutes. It's supposed to sit for 5 minutes. We've let it sit for over 5 minutes. Now what's left to do is we're going to dump in 2 tablespoons of softened butter, 3 cups of flour, and a teaspoon of salt. Hold on. We're going to, sorry, you put the teaspoon of salt in there. Got it? And now we're going to do 3 cups of flour like we did before, okay?
Okay. But the other one was 4.
Yeah, this one is going to be 3. See that dough? It looks nice. Got a nice spring to it. Okay. All right, you want to show them what it looks like?
Yeah.
Look at that face. Okay. All right, that's what it's going to look like. We're going to get that covered with a towel and let it sit for about 20 minutes. Show them your adorable flower face. For meal number 3, we're going to do a chicken stir fry with a cauliflower fried rice. In our freezer, we had 3 large breasts. We would probably use more than that normally, but that's what we had, so that's what we're going to use. You could also use chicken thigh meat as well, and that would work really, really well. We're going to brown that on high in a little bit of vegetable oil until the chicken is all the way cooked through. Then from there, we're going to get our veggies out of the freezer in the pantry. We had about a half a bag of frozen vegetables from the freezer, and then I had some fresh snow peas as well as some matchstick carrots. We're going to go ahead and stir fry that in the pan until those are tender. And then we're going to move on over to the cauliflower rice. We're going to do pretty similarly. We're going to put that in a pan as well with a little bit of vegetable oil until it's pretty much cooked through. And then we're going to create a little funnel, I don't know what that's called, an open space in the middle, a donut. And we're going to put in a couple eggs and scramble those until those are done. We're going to season it with just a little bit of fresh garlic, some minced garlic, and then I had some ginger, dry ginger in the pantry, as well as some soy sauce to taste. All right, so here is my completed meal. We have the cauliflower fried rice. That was a bag of frozen riced cauliflower that I had in the freezer. And then there was the other half of the carrots that I chopped up in the blender that we used in the chicken noodle soup. And then 2 eggs. And then to season that, that's just a little bit of soy sauce in there, as well as some ginger that we had in our pantry. I had some leftover white rice in the refrigerator, so we're going to add that. And then here's our stir fry. So for the stir fry sauce, I'll put down the approximate measurements in the notes. This is all stuff I have in my pantry or my refrigerator. We have the soy sauce, we've got some sesame oil, some fish sauce, brown sugar, ginger, minced garlic, cornstarch, onion powder, and I mix that up in a bowl with a whisk. Add in the cornstarch until there's no more lumps, and then while the stir fry is still on the heat, I'll pour that in and just mix it up until it thickens up real nice. This has a nice, yummy sauce mixed in with it now. It's going to be delicious. All right, so we are on our fourth meal. This is going to be shredded chicken. I've got a family pack of thigh meat in there, and then I'm going to add in all of these yummy seasonings that I had in my refrigerator and my pantry. Excuse the children going crazy in the background. As usual, they know I'm recording. So we've got some minced garlic from the refrigerator. We've got pepper, minced onions, dried onions, because I don't have a fresh onion until I go to the grocery store. We've got some paprika, a little bit of oregano, chili powder, cumin, onion powder, and then I'm out of salt. But I do have this garlic salt, so I'm going to use that instead. And that got left on the stove, so it's a little melty. All right, so all that yummy goodness, all the spices are in there. I'm going to put the lid on, and we're going to have this be on low. It's for 8 hours. It'll probably go for about 6. We'll just keep it on there and it'll cook all day. And then later today, we'll open it up and shred it. All right, so we're going to make some Mexican fried rice to go with our shredded chicken meat, which is going to be in tacos. I've got the electric skillet heating up. We're going to put 2 cups of rice into that, and we're going to heat the rice up till it gets just a tiny bit golden brown. We're also going to put all of our spices into the rice as it's turning brown, and then once it has a nice aroma, we'll be putting in 4 cups of water and the tomato sauce. And then these are the spices that we're going to use. It's all from the pantry. We've got paprika, chili powder, tomato sauce, some garlic salt because I'm out of garlic powder, and I'm out of salt, so we'll use both. We got, again, our dried minced onions. We've got the onion powder, some mixed vegetables, and then some of the Knorr tomato. Now, the mixed vegetables will go in when we add the water. Hi, guys. Are you guys ready for dinner? Excuse the laundry in the background. Do you guys love our rice?
Yeah.
It's one of our favorites, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what our rice looks like when it's done. This has been cooking for about 15 minutes. When all of the water is absorbed and the rice is tender, it is done. If about like halfway through you feel like the rice is not close to being done and all the water's gone, you can always add a little bit more water and cover it back up. Okay, our dinner is done. Sadly, we do not have any sour cream. Otherwise, I normally would have sour cream. We're also out of salsa and lettuce and tomatoes. So this is a very carb-loaded dinner, but the kids still love it. So we've got the Mexican rice, the refried beans from the 2 pouches that we had, the shredded chicken, and then we had some corn tortillas in the refrigerator and shredded cheese. Yummy, yummy. Well, that's going to wrap it up. I hope that you found this video helpful and the meals that we were able to come up with in our pantry and freezer helps you brainstorm things that you can do in yours. A lot of the times I think that we forget we have food available to us already in our house. If we just go ahead and maybe do an inventory, get a little creative and look for recipes, we can come up with all kinds of stuff. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love it if you'd support us and do so that you get notifications of upcoming videos and you can check back with us and we can lock arms with you on this journey to financial independence. We want to help you spend less, save more, and build wealth so that you can gain financial independence for your family too. Thanks for coming, guys. Bye.